Okay, this is my live performance of improvisational comedy. Um, so let's just say that let's just say that I'm a college professor teaching pre-med, and I'm reading through Grey's Anatomy, and I've got some funny comments to make about some of the things in Grey's Anatomy. Let me go to Grey's Anatomy. Okay, this is one of my favorite books, Grey's Anatomy. It was with an illustration by Daniel G. Nicoli, MP. Um, Grey's Anatomy. Um, Introduction. No, wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Contents. Let's see. I'm gonna have to see. Go to. It's my favorite part of the human anatomy. Let's go. Let's cover the brain. Actually, the brain. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go with the brain. The brain. The human brain. The 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 brain. Okay, so okay, so here we go. The brain. The brain. The brain. What's the funniest way that I could say the brain? The brain. The brain. The brain. The brain. Okay. Is that funny? All right. The weight of the encephalon, the average weight of the brain, and the adult male is 49.5 ounces, or a little more than 3 pounds. Avoir du poids, that of the female, 44 ounces. The average difference between the twin being from 5 to 6 ounces. The prevailing weight of the brain in the male ranges from between 46 ounces and 53 ounces. And in the female, between 41 ounces and 47 ounces. In the male, the maximum weight of 278 cases was 65 ounces, and the minimum weight, 34 ounces. The maximum weight of the adult female brain out of 191 cases was 56 ounces, and the minimum weight was 31 ounces. According to Lushka, the average weight of a man's brain is 1,424 grams, about 45 ounces. A woman's 1,272 grams, about 41 ounces, and according to Krauss, 1,570 grams, about 48.5 ounces for one male, and 1,350 about 43 ounces for the female. It appears that the weight of the brain increases rapidly up to the 7th year, more slowly to between 16 and 20, and still more slowly to between 30 and 40 when it reaches its maximum. Beyond this period, as age advances and the mental faculties decline, the brain diminishes slowly in weight, about an ounce for each subsequent decennial period. These results apply to both sexes. The size of the brain was formerly said to bear a general relation to the intellectual capacity of the individual. Cuvier's brain weighed more than 64 ounces. That of the late Dr. Abercrombie, 63 ounces, and that of Dupuytren, 62.5 ounces. On the other hand, the brain of an idiot seldom weighs more than 23 ounces. But these facts are by no means conclusive. And it is well known that the weights that these weights have been equaled by the brains of persons who never displayed any remarkable intellect. Dr. Haldeman of Cincinnati recorded the case of a mulatto, age 45, whose brain weighed 68 and 3/8 ounces. Okay, and then Dr. Ensnor, district medical officer at Port Elizabeth, reports that the brain of Carey, an Irish informer, weighed 61 ounces. M. Nikiforov has published an article on the subject of the weight of brains in Novosati. According to him, the weight of the brain has no influence whatever on the mental faculties. It ought to be remembered that the significance of the weight of the brain should depend upon the proportion that it bears to the dimension of the body, of the whole body, and to the age of the individual. It is equally important to know that what would the cause of death or for long illness and old age exhausts the brain. To define the real degree of development of the brain is therefore necessary to have a knowledge of the condition of the whole body, and this is equally lacking, for the mere record of weight possesses little significance. The human brain is heavier than that of all the lower animals, excepting the elephant and the whale. The brain of the former weighs from 8 to 10 pounds, and that of a whale, and a specimen 75 feet long, weighed rather more than 5 pounds. Now, the cerebral localization and topography. Physiological and pathological research have now gone far enough to prove that the surface of the brain may be mapped out into a series of definite areas, each one of which is intimately connected with some well-defined function. And this is especially true with regard to the convolutions on either side of the fissures of Orlando, which are believed by most physiologists. Oh, hi, how's it going? Good, how about you? What was your name again? Okay, anyways, so this is I'm doing my this is my improvisational comedy. It's a comedy sketch I'm doing. I'm doing the and for Jacob. Oh, hi Jacob. This is a improvisational comedy. Right now I'm talking about Grey's Anatomy and how that's related to comedy. You shall soon find out. Okay. Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, thanks. Okay. This is not the place nor can space be given to describe these localities, but the two accompanying cuts from Ferrier have been introduced and will serve to indicate the position of the more important areas. The relation of the principal fissures and convolutions of the cerebrum to the outer surface of the scalp has been the subject of much investigation, and many systems have been devised by which one may localize these parts from an examination of the external surface of the head. These plans can only be regarded as approximately correct for several reasons. In the first place, because the relations of the convolutions and sulci to the surface are found to be very variable in different individuals. Secondly, because the surface areas of the scalp is greater than the surface area of the brain. So that lines drawn on one cannot correspond exactly to sulci or convolutions on the other. And thirdly, because the sulci and convolutions in two individuals are never precisely alike. Nevertheless, the principal fissure and convolutions can be mapped out with sufficient accuracy for all practical purposes so that any particular convolutions can be generally exposed by removing with the trephine a certain portion of the skull's area. The various landmarks on the outside of the skull, which, why is that funny? I don't know, which can be easily felt and which serve as indications of the position of the parts beneath, have already been referred to. And the relation of the fissures and convolutions of those landmarks are as follows. Longitudinal fissure. This corresponds to a line drawn from the globula at the root of the nose to the external occipital protuberance. The fissure of Sylvius. The position of the fissure of Sylvius is its horizontal limb. is marked by the line starting from a point 1 inch and a quarter horizontally behind the external angular process of the frontal bone to a point 3/4 of an inch below the most prominent point of the parietal eminence. There's some of the most beautiful language in Gray's Anatomy. It's really written with this these beautiful language, beautiful with Latin derivations, I believe. Anyways, the bifurcation. What did I say that already? Wait a minute. Let's see. The bifurcation of the fissure is therefore 2 inches behind and about a quarter of an inch above the level of the external angular process. The ascending limb of the fissure passes upward from this point parallel to and immediately behind the coronal structure. Fissure around Rolando. To find the upper end of the fissure of Rolando, a measurement should be taken for the globule of the external occipital protuberance. Okay, so now what types of I should do a cover of Cobra by Megan Thee Stallion. I've heard of Megan Thee Stallion. Who is Megan Thee Stallion? Okay, first of all, who is Megan Thee Stallion? Is it Megan Thee Stallion or Megan the Stallion? What kind of a musical artist is she? And which cover should I do? I've never heard her music before. What is her music like? What does it sound like? Megan Thee Stallion. I've never heard it before. I get a lot of suggestions for covers, but a lot of these artists I've heard of, but I've just never heard their music before. What kind of music does Megan Thee Stallion have? Anyways, I was actually thinking, okay, so the human brain is the center of thought. Her song Cobra is a conversion of rap and metal. It's a hybrid of rap and metal. Okay, I'll check it out on YouTube, see if I like it, and if I do, I'll cover it. But I was thinking the human brain, the thoughts that you have, it really has a great guitar riffs. It has really great guitar riffs. Cobra by Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, I'll check it out. But what I was wondering is like the thoughts you have in your brain. Yes. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah. I think you nailed them. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, definitely. I was just wondering if the thoughts that go on in a human brain are actually strictly material in nature, or if there's some kind of like soul substrate that is completely removed from the physical, and that these thoughts that the human brain can have can not only leave the brain, but even travel to other localities, other locations. Like if I have thoughts that could actually be like somehow sent to another person, who you might call the receiver. And if this type of thought transmission is non-local, so I could actually transmit my thoughts to a person 2,000 miles from her, or if that's all bullshit. I don't know. We'll have to try. But anyways, if thoughts are strictly material in nature and they're strictly a brain function, or if they're non-material, maybe they're both material and non-material, if they can be transmitted like a radio, probably not. Not only the thoughts that you are transmitting are non-local, they can be transmitted like thousands of miles from here, but they could be transmitted into other dimensions, and maybe even to relatives that you have that might have passed away in the past, and maybe even like travel through time. I could have thoughts that I could send to like Abraham Lincoln or something. Is that possible? You have to try that. It'd be like a thought experiment. Yeah, it's a good thought experiment. Yeah, I dig that. Let's see. So that's enough of the brain for now. I want to talk about the eye, the human eye. Let's see. The eye. Now I'm going to try to talk like a college professor. So wait a minute. So okay. So Jacob, yeah, the Megan Thee Stallion. She's got a song called Cobra. I'll check it out on YouTube. It sounds like it's probably a good song. It's a combination of rap and metal, and I'll probably just do an acoustic version of it. The eye. The eyeball is contained in the cavity of the orbit. In this situation, is securely protected from injury, whilst its position is such as to ensure the most extensive range of sight. Okay. It is acted upon by numerous muscles, by which it is capable of being directed to different parts. It is supplied by vessels and nerves, and is additionally protected in front by several appendages, such as the eyelids, such as the eyebrow. So the eyebrows, so the reason you have eyebrows, so don't shave them off. Don't shave off your eyebrows, because there's a reason for them. The reason you have eyebrows, okay, is to protect your eyes. So don't shave them off. Okay? The eyeball is embedded in the fat of the orbit. An acoustic version of the song does sound interesting. I'll keep a look out in case you post a cover. Megan Thee Stallion. So is it, because I don't know, I like heavy metal and I like some rap. I'm not sure if I like the combination of rap and metal, but as a matter of fact, I think there's a song, a band called Faith No More, which does good cover, like a rap metal fusion. Faith No More, and who else does a rap metal fusion? POD. Did you ever hear the band POD? I think they do rap metal fusions. Maybe King's X. So yeah, I guess rap and metal can fuse. I was never the biggest rap fan, but I do like a few rap. Sometimes I'll hear a rap song and I think, I was never the biggest rap fan, but I think like I hear somebody like LL Cool J and I think, that's actually catchy. Like, I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. That song is pretty cool. And then, there's a few, once in a while I hear like a rap song that I think is kind of cool. But I was never like, I don't have like a lot of rap albums. It's an interesting take, maybe an acquired taste. She's primarily a rapper, but this song combined the two genres and it's very nice. Yeah, I'll check it out. I tend to prefer rap with a positive message. Rapping to a good rap, like rapping to peace, nonviolent means to solve problems. That's a good rap. Anyways, in Cobra, she's rapping about unnoticed depression. Okay, yeah, it sounds interesting. Megan Thee Stallion, is she black or white? I was just wondering if she's black or white, or not that I care, but I'm just curious. She's black. Oh, that's cool. Black girls are usually great singers. Yeah, let me check it out. Okay. The eyeball is embedded in the fat of the orbit, but is surrounded by a thin membranous sac. I'm talking to this guy about Grey's Anatomy, and he's trying to tell me about a song about Megan Thee Stallion called Cobra. Anyways, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Sounds good. But it's surrounded by the capsule tenion, which isolates it so as to allow a free movement. Okay. One of the insights I have in the eye, the human eye, think about the human eye for a minute. The way that the way that vision works in the human brain is that starts out as light that is emitted from another object in the sight of the person. When you see, so to actually see an object is to see the light that is emitted from the object. So that enters it passes through first it starts out, it passes through the pupil, along the optic nerve, and then when it finally reaches the occipital lobe of the human brain, an image is formed in the brain. But how can you really define an image that is formed, like a physical image that is formed, without invoking some kind of spiritual phenomenon? Like how can you describe the experience of seeing something strictly in a physical sense without invoking some kind of metaphysical type of aspect to it, or something beyond the physical? Is that possible, or is it strictly can it be physical? Is it so? It's kind of like the fight between the materialists and non-materialists in science, material science and non-material. So I lost a listener. Okay. Anyways, so that was my keep laughing improvisational comedy. Bye.